So now you guys should be seeing my desktop, which has all of you guys on it at the moment. And I'll just slide you out of my way. Not too far. Actually, when I was doing this with students in the springtime, they would have issues with technology and stuff. So they can actually share their desktop with you. So what I would actually do is I would have a private session with a student or one or two students, and you can take your Zoom window and just shrink it up into the corner. And then I would have my desktop here, or I would share my desktop so they could see it, and I would show them and demonstrate. So like you could do it either way with them. So essentially that's what I'm doing with you guys, is I'm going to be demonstrating it. Okay, let me get you out of the way here. All right, so what I had suggested is to do this in Chrome because it works better in Chrome. I'm not sure what other browsers it does work with, but Google is taking over the world, and you know, that's just the way it is. Okay, so if you did create a Prezi account, now let me just show you real quick. Get this out of my way. Okay. Voila. Yep. Here. So if you go to Prezi, oh, you're not gonna let me do it. Well, I'm already logged in, so it's gonna take me to the main account. If anybody has trouble, I'm not gonna log out and then log back in because it's gonna take too much time. If you go to Prezi, they're gonna show you the main screen that is going to charge you money. There is like, you know, you get extra stuff, bells and whistles and stuff if you pay them money every month. The free version has tons of stuff and probably more than most people are gonna use. So, but you have to click on basic and then take the free option, okay? All right, once you have that, this is what your dashboard looks like, okay? So there's folders down here for you to organize your personal Prezis and all that stuff. Library of options for things that you can choose from. If you click on presentations, those of you who have done Prezis before, it's easy to work with.
Already downloaded?
There's a new section here called Designs. That is the social media platform stuff. Pretty much every graphic design software that's out there. There's Adobe Spark is another version of this. So it makes it easy to make social media posts and that kind of thing that look fancy. There's tons and tons and tons of templates. So if you're interested in that stuff, it's there. Prezi Video is new, and I just discovered it this spring. And I made this literally in 5 minutes. Come on, baby. So let me show you. Hopefully the sound and everything will come across. Yeah. Good morning, Northridge High School. Welcome to the Prezi Video edCamp. My name is Ann Cunningham, and I am a computer science teacher up here at the high school. Before we get started, I have a quick little thing to read to you to just let you know that this session is being recorded, and that if you do not have that out of the way, why are we here? We are here to reduce your stress. I came across Prezi Video. I'd been teaching Prezi for a number of years and hadn't taught it last year. So I was delighted to find Prezi Video this spring when I was making up some projects for the kids. It's really easy to use. It takes, you know, 1 or 2 practices and it comes together really quickly. It's easy for you, and it's going to be easy for your kids to make projects and such as that. So to get started, this is the plan for the day. I'm going to show you how to get a basic Prezi account if you have not done that already. It's free. There is an upgraded version you can pay for, but you don't need to. Then I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done, and we're going to do a Prezi video demonstration. And then I would like to have you guys try it out and just make a quick video and, you know, go through the whole process of it. It's really, once you do one or two, it's amazing. And then once we're done at the end, we'll see how it went. So if you guys are all ready to go, let's get started. And in a minute, I'll show you how to trim this bit at the end off. Okay. Voila, now, how do I... Good morning, Northbridge High School. Let's not. Hold on. Okay. All right, so here we are. Let me come back here. So a couple of things I just want to mention about that video. One is, notice the background that was in there. And in those three links that I gave you about tips about making professional looking videos and how to organize it, to summarize it in just a couple of things. One thing is that you want to plan it ahead. So if you can like mentally plan, you know, this is what I want to say about this and this and this. If you don't get it perfect, the nice thing, and I'm going to show you in just a second, is you can fix it as many times as you want. You can re-record it, rearrange it, all that stuff. One of the other tips, two other critical tips, and one is really hard to do, and that is to look into the camera. Because when you're looking into the camera, you're talking directly to the person that's watching the video. The inclination is to look at your video. And you know, that's like way hard to do. It takes a lot of practice. One of the things that the woman said in the suggestions was that you could put your notes up above as little stickies on right at the top of your computer. And that way you're looking at the notes and at least you're close to looking at the camera. But it's up to you. It's no big deal. And it's certainly, you know, since we're learning it, it is what it is, you know. All right. One of the other things that they suggest, and you're going to see this in just a second, is that your background is not distracting from you. So whatever you're presenting, that your background is enhancing it and not fighting with it. So for instance, and never do this, like walk around the room holding your thing for obvious reasons, but if this is my background, it looks very different. It's a little bit more distracting. There's more stuff going on back here. And that's not that, like, people start looking at what kind of books you have or whatever the painting is on your wall and all that stuff. So it's better to keep things really simple when you're making a video. I think there was something else I wanted. Oh, so one of the other options, if you don't have a nice, like, if you have a lot of stuff on your walls or whatever, you don't have a nice clean background, is in Zoom. Let me get back to Zoom. Oh, here we are. Sorry, right here. Right here. So in Zoom, oops. I'm gonna have to figure out how to pull it back up. But in Zoom, at the bottom left, where you can turn your video camera on and off, you click on that, you can put a background behind you. So earlier I had a background and I turned it off that you saw. So one of the other things I was just thinking of just before this meeting is that if you wanted to divide your 50-minute lesson into sections, you could have one background behind you at the beginning. You could have, and you can make your background can be any picture. So if you create a picture that has a list of things that you want to cover for the day, you could do that. Although you can do it easier, I think, in the Prezi Zoom. But you could have anything that you want behind you, an example of what it is you're going to be talking about for the day or whatever. And then at the end, you could have some other, you know, if you have a let's chat section of the lesson for the day, you could have a logo that is your everyday let's chat logo, something like that. So it just hit me today. That's one way to visually organize, because that's really what you're doing here is you're visually organizing your lesson, your 50-minute lesson into workable chunks for the student. Okay, so let me get back to, let me get rid of you guys again. So we talked about this, that. Okay, here we go. So let me pull up, get me out of the way here. Okay, give me 1 sec here. All right. Okay, so first thing, now that I have that video, I can modify it. So let me start there and we'll work sort of backwards in how you do this. So if I want to reuse this, there's 3 little dots here. I just click on those and I can click on reuse. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I'm wondering if it's going to have a problem because, oh, maybe not. I was just thinking I'm using the microphone to talk to you guys. So, all right. So this is what it looks like. And so over here is your basic video template. Up here are your slides. So those of you who are thinking in terms of like a slideshow, I can click through these and it will take me through each one of my slides. And that was the ending slide. So if I want to add a new slide, I just click on plus and let's see what I want to do on the side. I'll put a like little ta-da. There you go. They give you pictures, images here that you can search for that are free. Of course, if you pay for the fancy version of it, they're going to give you fancier ones. Or you can put all your own images in there. So that's what this upload button is. You can upload from your computer, Dropbox, upload from your Google Drive. And those of you who have Microsoft OneDrive, okay. So that's really convenient. So if you have a set of images you want to use particularly, that's where they are. So if you want to add text, where to add? Or I could have done it without the image, okay, or I can change the image. Like if I decide, no, I didn't want that one, I can switch it to some other image. Literally, it's like drag and drop. This is actually where I wanted to start my video. I can grab that slide and literally drag it over. Whoops, might take a couple of drags to rearrange my slides. So it's really, really simple in terms of construction. And then what if I decide I don't want this slide, I can just click on X and it goes away. Down here at the bottom, there's 3 different views. So if I want to start my video just looking at me and talking to the kids and saying, hey, how are you today, blah, 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 I started it this way with you guys so that you were looking at, you know, the quote for the day or whatever it is, the topic for the day. Or if you want to, you know, be there right next to it and talking about it, you have that option. So as you're making the video, you literally, and again, this down here in the bottom right here, I can click through my slides, just go, okay, that looks good, that looks good. To do it that way. All right, so at the bottom here, whoops, let me move these out of the way again. All right, at the bottom here, you see where it says choose template, add content. Excuse me. I'm in the add content section already. If I decide this was not the best template for this presentation, I just come down here, I click on choose template, and I can switch it to any one of these, you know, and try out a different look. All right. I think that was my original. There's a whole bunch of them. Oops, voila.
And they're just,
nice.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what it is. They're just talking and I'm looking at going like, it was seriously this one session I couldn't get in. I tried 3 computers and my phone. I couldn't get in. I was like, oh.
Oops, hold on.
Okay, well, that's great.
Somebody has their microphone on, and sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pull it up to turn mics off at this point. That's another thing, like, just to find that. Knowing where the mute button is going to be important. So that's something to not leave this week without knowing.
Sometimes
Okay.
it's muted, sometimes it won't.
Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on.
Like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing different each time? Like, sometimes it just, I get there, and sometimes it's like, fuck you.
Hold on. Shoot. All right. Sorry, you guys, that I just let in. All right, so voila. Mute all. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see like the participant panel is really where the controls are for you as a teacher for the classroom. There is a mute all option at the bottom because you're the host. So individually, I believe all of you guys can unmute yourself at will, but if something happens like that, like somebody forgets to mute, or they were talking and then they forgot to remute, you can do that yourself to turn everybody off at the same time. Okay, and you guys that came in, if you have any questions, there is a link. I'll post it at the end of this later, that you can link to a document that's got a lot of the notes on it, so you didn't miss too much. Okay, so again, if your controls disappear like that, hover over it with your mouse or click on it and they'll pop back up. So again, so if I changed my template, you definitely want to double check and see, do I like, actually I like this one better. Okay. And decide like, okay, this is where I really should be sitting for this, or when I get to this one, I'm going to make it zoom in. Okay. All right. So I've added my template. Yes. Just to show you over here, you also have an option. And again, I'm on step 1, choose a template. You can go over here to reusable videos. This is the beauty of this. If somebody has put a ton of work into creating this really cool template that looks like what you could use for your lesson, you can just take their template. I mean, you're not restricted to these simple ones that are making it from scratch. You could go to any one of these ones that are out, and there are thousands, tens of thousands of reusable videos out there. And I guarantee you there are thousands and thousands of ones from teachers that have been created over the last 6 months. So, and I'll show you where you get those in just a sec. All right, so again, so I've chosen my template. I go to add content. And in the add content view, I'm on this slide. So again, your slides are up here at the top. And you can change or add content as you want, okay? Finally, next step. So again, down here at the bottom, click on next step. Practice and record. So the little red button here is once you click it, it's gonna start recording. So if you get to the end of it, and I'll show you in just a sec, if I get to the end of this and I don't like the way it sounded, which happened to me 3 or 4 times this morning because I forgot what I was saying. So you want to start it off looking the way that you want it to look. Click on the red button. Gives you a countdown. If you panic, just hit pause. Gives you another countdown. And I usually give it like a second, and then I start talking. And I talk through whatever it is I want to say for the title, welcome, blah, blah, blah. And then it will keep that same zoom in until I click on this view, which will show me, okay? And then if I go to the next slide, I can switch it. I think you would get better at this, with time and stuff in terms of just making it look smoother, going from back and forth and all that stuff. So we get to the end, voila, isn't it wonderful? So I would recommend, and I think the reason that the one slide that I had that got cut off, I think I was talking and there was like a delay, and when I clicked to the next slide, and I missed it. So no problem. And I'll show you in just a second. So I click on done recording. And that's it. There's your record. So you can play it, panic. And I usually give it like a second and then I start talking. And I talk through whatever it is I want. Okay. So I can click through this just like any other video and come to the end and go, okay, this, not when I have my mouth open. There you go. That looks like a good pose. All right, so that's where I want to end my video. Right here, click on trim, and I can grab it and just pull it back. Let me bring it all the way back to, this is where I want to end. Okay, done. And it trims it. Okay, if I want to discard the whole thing, which often happens when I'm doing an early one, one of the first couple of ones, click on discard and record again. So discard and record just means, oops, sorry, it's going to record it again. It just means that the recording part, this part, is getting changed, but your slideshow is the same. It hasn't changed. Okay. All right, and at the end, click on Save Video. All right, down here, you can give a description. You know, this is our unit on blah, blah, blah. You want to make it public and reusable, or you can make it, which is all the ones that all the people on Prezi are sharing with you. So as a teacher, if you got a nice one, or if you just don't care, go ahead and share it with people so that they can reuse it. Or you can leave it as unlisted, which means that they can't search for it. This, you can share it to Google Classroom. Oops. And it goes straight to Classroom. You choose your class. You choose an assignment, or you create an assignment. Go. And you're in Google Classroom. So you're literally doing your normal Google Classroom stuff to create the assignment. All right. Oops, let me get you out of the way here. There we go. All right. And, you know, you can do these in advance. So if you have, what I'm thinking is discard draft, that this is going to be useful for short, and you want to keep them short. You want to keep them, and I'll show you why, because when I did this in the spring, I did, find my videos at camp. Here we are. I did this project, and it wasn't I loved the project, but it was the end of school, and like not only a handful of kids did it. So, so what I did was I created an intro to it, and let's see if I can find the video here. I mean, I did a lot of these in, that's Google Docs, okay. This, I believe, video. This was my video, and I can share this with you guys too. My video telling the kids how to make a video. And it took, let me just see how long this is. This is 11 minutes. This was unavoidable because like it took them through the whole thing. But I think for breaking a project down, it would be a lot better to keep your videos like 2, 3, 4 minutes, something like that. So the kids like can follow along, they're engaged, and they don't lose their track. They can obviously, you know, this 11-minute video, they can stop it in the middle, go out, do some stuff, stop it, go out and do some more stuff. All right, so let me get out of that.
So, Ann, do you suggest doing like several videos for a lesson? So like intro, blah, 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 and then 2 to 3 minutes, and then having another one so that it's all sectioned for them, not in one video?
Yeah, yeah, if you can think of a way to organize, you know, because I think for an adult, it's not too bad watching a 10-minute video, but even, you know, yourself, like if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook or something and you see a video that's going to keep you there for 10 minutes, you're more likely to watch one that's 2 or 3. So, and also I think you can express pretty quickly because you've got the visual, you've got the thing behind you, you've got the slide that's there. So you can communicate visually a lot faster than you would think. And then you give them something to do, and then they can do that, and then they can come back. So like this, where I did it in Google Classroom, I started with my intro to the project itself, and I've got some YouTube videos here for them to do. And then I did a thing about personal essay, like how to write a personal essay. We did some practices with that. Then we did some essay mapping, and then they did their own project, you know. Even that I think was big, you know, it was bigger than the amount of, I gave them like 2 weeks to do this whole project. So yeah, I think the more bite-sized you can make it, the more like, here's something, here's a concept, apply it and give me a artifact. Here's another concept, apply it, give me an artifact. I think that's probably the more successful way to do it. Does anybody have any questions at this point for me, or? Okay, because I want to show you a couple other things. I mean, when I was doing this, I was just so delighted with it. It was just amazing. I mean, maybe you guys are not as impressed, but I just thought it was the coolest thing. Let me get out of this. Hold on, come back here. All right. So coming back to Prezi. And how are we doing on time? Okay. Let me show you these things. I mean, even if we don't have the time for you guys to do this on your own, and you're welcome to be doing this on the side while I'm showing you this, but so quick record. This is your basic, you have your idea of what you want to do. And this is what I just showed you. Like I showed you a finished version of it, but if you come in here, this is what it looks like when you have nothing. Okay. And then you pick your template. Whoops. And here's my navigation down here. Choose a template. Got the template, click on next. Add your content, right? Or your text, and then add a new frame, and add a new frame, and then rearrange, okay? So I think, I mean, once you do it and go through it, you know, I think you'll be fine with that. And if you need any help, let me know, but it's very point and press, I think. Okay, so that's one option. The other is to import a PowerPoint. So if you have PowerPoint, yes, okay, so open. No, all right, I don't want to get, of course, it's amazing how this stuff happens when you're trying to present something. Cancel that. All right, I'm going to get out of there. Oh, this is the desktop app. So I give you, you can do this all online in a browser, or there's a desktop app that you can download and do it this way. And I think that's what this is. I usually just do it online. Let me pull this back. Okay. Cancel. Stop. All right, here we are. All right, so that's another option. You can play with that. Here's the advanced create. And for those of you guys who have done Prezi before, if you haven't done Prezi before and you're interested in learning it, I can share with you the videos that I made for the kids that take you through it. There is tons, if you just Google it on the Prezi site, there's tons of stuff that takes you through it. This here, you can create directly from a Prezi template. So, and again, they've got, different options here, different templates. Say, there was one I picked up this morning and I was like, oh, this is nice. Science project. All right, so let's go with the science project. And you can click through them and say, okay, I like it, I don't. I'm going to use this template. So the nice thing about these templates is that it's already got the links set up in Prezi for you. If you want to modify it, you can just delete some of the links or the little circles there. All right, so now I'm in Prezi. Come on. It is a big program. It takes a minute to load. All right, so this is my overview. These are, then if you think about Prezi, it's kind of like a slideshow, except it's a layered, it's not linear, it's layered. So this is my overview. There's my first question. And then I'm going inside those questions. So if you look at the top, the navigation's here at the top left. So let me go back out of the question and back up to the main level. Or you can interact with it by clicking on it, or you can interact with it. Of course, it's not going to pop up. There's a bar at the bottom, a progress bar that you can click through. I don't get too stuck on that because I want to show you over here. So you can create your own, literally create your own Prezi. Come up here and click on Allow Camera. And I am now part of this presentation. So I can click on Record Video. And it's going to take me into Prezi Video. Camera. There we go. All right, and anytime you have a lot of graphics, it's going to take a while to order. So, I mean, that looks even better than the other one, right? And so now I can click through this, click on record, and gives me my 3, 2, 1. And now when I click through this, it's going to take me through. Here's my question 1, blah, blah, blah. What about this? And now, if this is not perfect for me for my my presentation, and again, you still have the option here. You can go this way to zoom in on it, or you can just be you talking and then come back to it and talk over it, okay? So it gives you a lot of options. And this, like, combining Prezi with the video is wonderful. Let me get out of this and get out of this because I don't want it. And I'm back here. Now, just briefly, we're almost out of time here, but so briefly, what if I didn't want some of these? Like say I just wanted four options here. You can go in and I can literally select that and delete it. And select that and delete it. All right, and that way it'll just zoom in on this one circle. And then when I go to the next one, so I could just, you know, modify the template to suit my needs. All right. Sorry, I know that was a lot more demonstration than I had planned for, but hopefully it was useful for you. Oops. And does anybody have any questions for me, or?
Thank you for doing this, Ann.
Oh, you're very welcome. And again, it's one of those things where I think it could be the quick and easy, engage kids at the beginning of class, give them something to do. Like they can watch your little video and be doing something while you're doing attendance. You know, I think it has a lot of possibilities, and the only way to do it is just make a couple of them, like spend 15 minutes and like throw them away, and I like it. I really like it. It was like not painful. So, all right. And if anybody needs any help, you know, just let me know. Send me an email or or we can meet on Zoom. No questions or anything? PD day, yay. All right. Whoops, how come I have two versions of you guys here? Oh, that's me.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Thanks, Ann.
come to the end, so enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
See ya.